with his Husker coming out here on Azure. How much can you get for Ori missing out on that ideal mid matchup? And how much can Fate Beyond just slow down Ulu this time? Like, Ember into Centaur it's not smooth going. There's some dodge plays you can do with Sleight of Fist, but it's not going to be reliably dodging. Especially if you just, set up with the lift or just kind of get the pushback with Flame Break here from FY.
Well, we shall see how this pans out. Game number 2. Tianming, or maybe already caught out. Red Panda just needs a bit of vision. Does get it. First blood already looking to be drawn as Tianming getting caught. A butterfly effect of all people will be taking first blood. The perfect hero to take it.
He's going to be feeling happy going into that mid. Sentry dropped, so they will get the D ward at the very least. A consolation prize for Azure. But this Lina, again, it's going to have a good time on mid 670 attack range compared to the 400. You're not going to be able to spam the inner fire as often as well. So, butterfly effect should be a happy camper on the mid. And he does tend to translate very nicely into the mid game when he does have a good start. I do suspect that Ulu will be playing more momentum here as the Ember, and you'll just treat butterfly effect as carry on mid. So, kind of going to be interesting to see how fast Ulu will play, but his NP was playing fast a while ago anyway.
Ulu be taking a bit of damage, does get the chains out. Will continue to run, but FY had a blood grenade, just really wanting to amp up as much damage as possible here onto Ulu. Give him the absolute worst start possible here going into this bottom lane. That he will. Ulu losing about 2/3 of his HP. We'll have to burn through a few tangos just to be able to lane here against Bark and FY. And of course, we'll head over to the mid lane where you will see Butterfly Effect and Ori going at it here in the Husker vs. Lina matchup. And poor old Ori thought he had the big advantage in that mid lane, but not quite.
Not quite. Can still play around with inner fire if he just sneaks closer, I suppose. It's only 170 range difference for Butterfly Effect to kind of be within, so it's still somewhat striking range for Ori, but still not that smooth laning matchup you'd want. Going in for Burning Spears will be punished hard by Butterfly Effect, and should still have some farm. Again, inner fire at the least will help you clear out a bit, but this is going to be a very Lina heavy lane. You're probably not going to get bursted down, thanks to Berserker's Blood just giving you a little bit more max magic resist, but Butterfly Effect's not going to be too scared unless he severely misplays and puts himself in a very bad position. It shouldn't be a problem for the Lina at all.
No, it should not. Well, that top lane, of course, Low and Tianming going at it against Irving and Red Panda. So, well, bottom lane, FY was getting rather low on the bat. He will be alright. Well, we may as well talk about the bottom lane. FY and Bark against Ulu and TK. For now, is seemingly favouring Bark and FY. Ulu not having the worst time, though. The thing is, he did have to burn through all his tangos before the lane even started, so they are trying to abuse the fact that he does not have that much regen. And TK, well, he just gets caught out by the flame break of FY and immediately just gets taken down.
That is that combination we've been seeing with a Batrider when it is picked up early. Really nice kill to pick up. I think you're pretty happy on Ulu regardless. Like, he does need more levels to come in. At the very least, it's a support dying. It is a pretty nice pickup for FY and Bach to start to hit that point with their skill points. Level 2 start is nice, especially for the Batrider support. Gonna be hard to start to get the pulls though. TK at least has a way of disrupting with a wave of terror. But this is the more aggressive lane for Azure, and the more passive lane coming out here for the side of Team Bright. Again, you had to split the Lina off onto the mid lane, so you're going to have to cop it here for Ulu. His lane does come out weaker as a result of that.
Oh, how is that top lane going? Low and Red Panda against Irving. And, excuse me, Red Panda and Irving against Low. And, of course, Tianming. Right now, seems to be going okay for the Ursa at the least. Azure Ray having a pretty good time having Low back in the safe lane. On a hero that he feels much more comfortable on, clearly. And Low CSing just fine. 19 and 3. No real aggression. I think the Tide Shadow Demon don't really want to try and be aggressive against this Ursa Rubik. Of course, they would rather just keep the creep wave by their own tower and just keep the farm going here for Irving, I think.
Yeah, just going to be a little bit more passive. The kill threat onto Irving is a little bit harder to find at the least, even with Fury swipes. Self-dispel does kind of make it rough, and you've got the disruption save on Red Panda. They are getting more controls with the pulls. Red Panda could not block and could be in danger with good body blocks from Tianming.
Could be. Red Panda doesn't really have too many places to go. Will run into low, but is going to go down. Nice pickup for the bear. Low. Definitely a very different game so far for the Ursa.
Yeah, he's allowed to build up. No pressure coming out from Irving, or not too much pressure at the very least coming out here. They are getting some rune control, so they will at least grab a water rune away for butterfly effect instead of getting the double refill, but Red Panda's in with a TP anyway. The mid lane has been not too bad for Ori. Again, it's pretty hard for Lina to completely shove the Husker away, but again, it's not that early dominance that you'd expect. At least Irving is in danger again.
He is Irving. Does get taken down low. Starting to get very aggressive here on the Ursa. Red Panda is going to try and rotate. Meanwhile, Bark does go down at the bottom lane, but they found Ulu on the Ember, so it's not a bad trade whatsoever here for Azure Ray. Tianming trying to deal with Red Panda right now. Red Panda happily fighting back. But eventually, in fact, he will keep going for another Shadow Poison. Does get 4. It won't quite be enough, but a nice bit of damage.
Just a little bit more to fly out. Stacks slowly being built up only onto the larger camp. Not quite on the Ancients yet, but any piece of recovery is important here for the side of Team Bright. A much stronger start for Azure, which is what you want to see from them if they want to get that game 3 going in the series. And for the side of Bright, it's a little bit awkward because you've got the side lane Ember. You know, it's not like Ulu is going to hit as fast timings as he would in a solo lane. His EXP is also going to be held back, so his 6 timing is going to be thrown off, which means that you're not really expecting Butterfly Effect to go full tempo on the Lina as well. Again, it's likely just going to transition to the real hard carry. Are diving down bot.
Now TK go for a run, but FY is not looking to leave him alone. Bark will land a very nice hoof stop onto 2. Lulu is still level 4, so the chase can continue. Chains will land, but FY and Bark both still just chasing down the Ember. Even if they can't get the kill, they just want to ensure the Ember Spirit is not farming. And Bark actually gets a stun and will secure the kill. Zulu just not having a game.
Yeah, it's the worst lane coming out. Again, you swap out so that you don't have to deal with a Husker, but you have to deal with the Batrider Centaur, which isn't that much easier for the Ember. And it's very difficult to try to dodge everything with a sleight of fist. It's very difficult for you to get offensive. I'll try onto top here with low.
Yeah, they try for the Ursa. Butterfly Effect will rotate, but misses the Light Strike array. May not matter though, as the Laguna Blade does come out, and low eventually is going to go down. Butterfly Effect able to get the final hit off. Would have been a real shame had they not gotten that kill. It felt like a very desperate rotation as well here from Team Bright. Just something they needed to see is that Ursa die.
Yeah, they need to slow down that build up here from low. Just a little bit too fast on the Ursa. Has a relatively free lane. And that's where the strength of Azure really is shining. Just the laning phase has been remarkably better than last time around. Still, Team Bright aren't too far behind despite these losses. Only a 1k lead for Azure. Not too tangible in the core differences, although you are lagging pretty severely on Ulu. But once phase boots and Urn is up, you should be able to start to get active, connecting with that level 6 spike of the Ember. Azure do have really good scaling down the line and are starting to hit that point where Ori should be ready to make moves. He is going for that armlet. Only the recipe and the blades of attack left for him to farm up. And again, like against Alina, sure you're not dominating, but you're allowed to farm as well. And that timing for Ori is going to kickstart some movement out for Azure if they can find it. Already camping for the 8-minute rune as well. Just ensuring that Butterfly Effect won't get anything too useful here.
Dire are scanning.
I scan out. 8-minute power rune is going to spawn bottom. FY will take that. Ori going to try and help out Tianming. Tianming just running right into Butterfly Effect. Will end up going down, but now the Lina is going to find himself in danger. FY knocking her back, and Butterfly Effect is just gone. You get a Rubik kill, but that's about it. The Lina will just not be able to survive the onslaught. Azure looking like a very different team here in game number 2. So now they have a 2k advantage. That Lina was the highest net worth hero of the game for Team Bright, but now she is still top of the net worth board in terms of the game, but gonna be worried about giving too many of those kills away.
I mean, the big consequence is that FY is actually more farmed than Irving and Ulu. Like, the Ember is still trying to play catch-up. Does have 6. Probably wants the Urn. And just waiting for Urn to be up before trying to make moves around and allowing Butterfly Effect to sort of be that real carry from the mid, going for the Maelstrom on his build-up. They are still getting their stacks off, but there is some vision to spot it here.
FY wanting to continue up the aggression. Goes for the stacks as well. With the Fade Bolt out from Tianming, it certainly helps take them down. Butterfly Effect going to intervene and try to take them himself. Very desperate plays here from Team Bright to try not handing over that gold over. The thing is, FY, looking back at the Batrider, he's got his blink up. It's on the Courier. That's a very problematic sight to behold here if you are Team Bright. It's the Pulse 4 Bat getting exactly what it needs this early on is going to be very problematic.
It will be. You're not quite ready with a swap on TK. You still have that disruption save on Red Panda, but he has to be aware he's got to be close by his cores. Got to watch out for any forward jumps. FY will want to show this off soon. Has Lasso off cooldown. Butterfly Effect is looking like a juicy target on mid, if you're not too careful.
Jump is there, Lasso is out, Disruption will save for now, but he's already out of position. Butterfly Effect, they'll swap him away. TK sacrificing himself, but here comes the cavalry. They'll get FY on the Batrider. FY will go down. They want a bit more. Ori is going to be alright. Ulu is out of mana, so we'll not be able to lock down Ori on the Husker. It's a pretty messy engagement, but they do still come out on top here, Team Bright.
Yeah, and they managed to, find that Blink Dagger reveal. They force out Stampede as well. Very well timed for TK to actually have his level 6 swap there, just to get that position for Butterfly Effect going. And the follow-through not quite there for Azure to fully clean up. Like, the Venge would have been still a manageable target despite the barrier. Level 1 barrier is not too high. But, again, not quite having all the heroes they need to clean up. Keeping themselves in the game, Team Bright still 3k behind. Network distribution is still with Irving and Ulu taking the hits here for Butterfly Effect to scale. But the Lina is a hyper carry that can scale hard. Bach.
And a bit of danger, Bach. Doesn't have the Stampede. Does have Tianming moving in to help out. TK still moving in. Does get the Centaur down. FY going to show up to try and at least get some form of a trade. TK, he'll be more than happy though, I think, with this. Just finding the Centaur kill. In fact, TK, not dead yet. Ulu will ensure that he does remain safe. So they'll get away with the Centaur kill for free.
Yeah, pretty nice one to find. They did lose their courier in exchange, and that was without the urn being delivered. So Ulu's going to be held back from a little bit more activity and damage for a little bit longer, but he's also trying to go into his Mage Slayer anyway, and that's the safest point for the Ember to start to make those plays with his team. All things considered, despite that laning start for Team Bright, they're still finding what they want. They're still hitting this timing. Maelstrom's up on Butterfly Effect, so Lina's starting to do more and more damage. Going for the travels next, as we tend to see from Lina's. Azure, they've got this Armlet already up on Ori. They've got really good AFK farm coming out for low. Almost into that Battle Fury timing. And with a Battle Fury, after one good team fight, you could start to think about Roshan here for the side of Azure. That is something they can melt relatively quick with the Ursa. Just as soon as you find one pickoff. And that pickoff is just going to be off the back of FY. Ready to go again. Does have the lasso off cooldown. Just needs a nice juicy target to find here.
Yeah, I mean, bottom lane, they are setting up low. Seems like TK's got a good idea that they are around, so he will back out. Low going to show up in the bottom tier 1 tower, and it will not remain defended. The bottom tier 1 is going to go down basically for free. Low now with his full Battle Fury available very early. I think Team Bright will be too happy to see that. With the state of the game the way it is, like even with just a 2k advantage, I don't believe Team Bright had any real good chance of defending that bottom tier 1. Irving does not seem like he wants to be anywhere near that kind of fight anyway. Still just trying to work towards that Vladimir's offering. Perhaps once the tide is ready, they'll make their moves. But for now, Team Bright just taking the time to get that farm going.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the double blinks ready on Azure Ray. Blink up on Bach as well, just delivered on the courier. So more jump angles for them to take. The side of Bright, they need that Vlad's, but it's really waiting for Ulu to take activity, right? Like, again, he's supposed to be sort of tempo setting from safe lane. Mage Slayer is really stalled out, so he's not able to contribute as much, and he's still stuck bot.
Now he has Ulu. He's able to remnant away. Top tier 1 tower in the meantime is going down, so Team Bright going to eventually find that tier 1 tower trade. So Azure Ray not quite interested in defending themselves either. With the amount of farm Lowe's getting on the Ursa, you probably are just happy playing this slow kind of farm game. As a bottom, FY able to run away thanks to the stampede being provided of Bach. It's a bit of wasted time here for Team Bright on the chase. But Team Bright, I mean, it does feel like this kind of slower game favors them. Even with the Ursa's timings, having that very quick Battle Fury, like, they were the ones falling behind in this game. So I think just the fact that they have a chance to recover after a pretty bad laning stage is going to be pretty good news for them.
That it is. Again, they scale really well with items. Even the supports do. Like, say, an Aetherlens blink on Red Panda makes all the difference here in just getting these saves off as well. Smoke out from Azure Ray. Trying to hunt. FY is still itchy to get something done with that lasso, but vision is pretty dark. Only really river wards right now, and one ward down bot and forward jungle. So a little bit trickier to find that angle here. Mid pressure is underway from the side of Team Bright. We do have Ulu joining in. He does have the Mage Slayer flying out, so this is his timing.
Yeah, absolutely. They really wanted to pressure that tier 1 mid tower. They were even glyphing up the siege creep, but not feeling too safe. Irving eventually does move into the tier 1, but they do let the siege creep die. It won't matter too much though. Butterfly effect doing a lot of damage on that laner. Glyph will be forced from Azure Ray. But the tier 1 mid, it is certainly just going to go down. No real defense to come out here from Azure Ray. As an immediate smoke is out, they're going to head up towards the north and see if they can find this Ursa. Pings are directly where low is, so they have got the correct idea as to where the Ursa is farming. See if low can avoid this. A very nice scan as well, right on top of the bear. Oh, poor old low. He's having the perfect game up until this point where he has been caught out, but the TPs are still coming. Low's got the help in. He'll get the enrage in time and he will remain alive. Do they want to keep fighting?
It's a little bit trickier with Stampede down. That repositioning with the lasso is not going to feel as safe. They did spot that smoke with a ward. I'm just surprised Low decided to try to play this bait game. With that Stampede, it feels a little bit rougher. They didn't commit anything on the side of Bright outside of just the smoke. Gonna have to find a good angle from the rear here.
Irving does get jumped. They'd love to take down this tide first, but obviously Irving, a pretty tanky boy, has the Ravage. Bach trying to bait them forward. Nobody else joining Irving yet. Ori going to show himself, does use the BKB. FY will jump in, looking for the blink. Lasso does get it onto the tide. Irving, no, he never gets the Ravage off. He never gets it off. Bach will die as well, but Butterfly Effect just melts to the damage of Low. And Ori will remain alive throughout all of this. Red Panda is the only survivor on the Shadow Demon, but not for long. He is down. A full team wipe now for Azure Ray, and Roshan is right by, so they'll go right into the pit.
That was just not the ideal position for the side of Team Bright. A lot of them were kind of stuck on the low ground near Roshan, just not able to follow through and try to back up this tide quick enough. If they got the swap save into a Ravage, could have been a different story. Really preemptive BKB pop from Ori made it awkward for Irving to consider the Ravage going through that debuff immunity. And with the Aegis up on Ori, this is a key timing for that Husker. 2 lives up on him, very hard to burst down. We'll try to hunt here though on the side of Team Bright.
Chase is on. No chains will land on FY. They do get a disruption. It's going to be onto Tianming. So not the biggest target, but they will take it. Azure still happy to hold on to the 10k net worth advantage they have acquired, though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It seems like Team Bright are the ones that are going to need to find these successful kind of pickoffs. But these supports aren't really the value they're looking for at all. They want these bigger cores. For now, it might be back to the slow game. But if you're Team Bright, like you might just have to take the space to get that catch-up farm going.
That you should, but Low is so far ahead of you. His farming pace is just insane with a Battle Fury up. What items do you have to fix this on Team Bright? The BKB timing for Butterfly Effect is going to be nice. The full Shivas for Ulu should help with some burst issues. So that's also going to be impactful. But this deficit is just massive. It's Irving and Ulu, the two heroes that really need some catch-up farm. They want some parity here with at least Bach. Or still a ways off from that. Maybe if they find an initiation with a Ravage. And some clean up here. Ulu?
Let's get caught, Bach. It's alright, we'll commit the Stampede and get away. Meanwhile, FY has got a lasso, finding Red Panda. Bach's still dropping quite low. Zulu is going to rush forward onto Tianming. Tianming looking like the big target they want first. And he will go down. That is one, however they do lose Red Panda. So 1 for 1 in terms of the supports. Bach is actually still in a pretty awkward scenario. But he will be able to TP away and it doesn't seem like anyone's really going to spot him out. In fact, it is AR that is still moving to try and find some more pickoffs, but everybody from Bright has pretty much left the building apart from Irving. Irving not really out of position either, though, so he'll be okay.
They will finally find that tier 1 mid, opening up a little bit more of an invasion on the bot area of the map, or the other half of the map across the river for them. BKB fully done on low. This BKB timing on these two cores is going to be hellish for the side of Team Bright. Makes it a lot harder to find that isolation play, Ulu. Ooh.
He's alright. So 9 to 13 now, 10k advantage still standing. Azure in a brilliant position here to pull off this game 2 victory. Pretty hard to see them messing this one up.
Yeah. They've got all the tools. I think for the side of Bright, it's hanging on a really good Ravage on Irving, and then instant burst play before some of those BKBs can turn on, but with such long duration BKBs and with your reliance on Lina burst right now, it's not going to be easy. You don't have that physical output on the Lina just yet. Yes, the right clicks are there, but you don't have any steroid for the Lina to play off of. And that 50% magic resist is going to be massive to stop that burst.
Lasso out is going to catch Red Panda. Irving also being caught, so Low can get right to work onto the tide. Low, having the anchor put on himself, will go down. Tianming had just taken it away. That'll be the top tier 2 tower now dropping pretty easily. Zure even looking towards the outpost while they're at it. They'll be able to take that for free. Still a very clean game. Team Bright just seemingly having no answers as of yet as to how to deal with this side of Azure.
Yeah. It's a rough one for Bright. Again, for them, it's almost like the same situation Azure was in the last game. You could probably try to angle for some aggressive swaps instead of just relying on this Ravage. There are no big Ravage opportunities for Irving to really find, even with a Blink. It's just the durability of these heroes. I mean, these are 3 really hard to kill cores. It's a Centaur, it's a Husker, it's an Ursa. None of them are dying all too fast. Even if you manage to get that initiation here on the side of Bright, you're going to have to try to weave in and out. At the least, Low finds Bach for the side of Bright.
FY will go down. It's just kind of standing in the vicinity and kind of ends up being a victim here of Low. The 5-man smoke is out. On the side of Team Bright, they are going to head towards that Dire Triangle. With a love to find this Ursa low. He just picked up his diffusal blade. He could actually get caught out. Has a BKB available though at a 9-second charge, but they do see the Ursa. Jump is there, but he'll pop his BKB and run. So, I mean, the 5-man smoke does amount to something, but it's just a BKB charge, not the biggest deal.
Definitely not. Really wanted more. But again, catching any of these heroes is just extremely tough for the side of Bright. Forcing out that resource is pretty nice. And it's still down to just 8 seconds. Still a long enough time for a lot of these engagements here from the side of Bright. And Azure, I mean, they're in extreme control right now. Full halberd up on Ori. So even that physical output of Butterfly Effect is put into question here. Is going for the AC as well for physical protection. And at that point, I'm not entirely sure how you actually kill off Ori. You don't have like a Spirit Vessel ready to go. Even if you did, there are still BKBs once more. You have nothing to slow down that regen. And Azure, I'll just go for their own smoke play.
Yeah, Buck. Lead the front lines here. FY, all they do, jump in. Ulu, he does juke out the hoof stomp. TK in the meantime with the swap out. Red Panda has gone down to get the team fight started. They have found Butterfly Effect as well. The Lina forced to BKB and just run away as Ulu does get a 3-man chains off. It won't really amount to much though. Nobody from Team Bright is around to try and capitalize. They are just retreating once again. Azure, I'm not sure if they're looking to really apply the pressure onto this tier 2 mid tower yet. Maybe not really seeing enough pickoffs here to go for these tier 2 towers. Yeah, it seems like they are just going to try and occupy the Radiant Triangle. Ori will make a jump in onto TK. Happy to fight. Bark is in. 2-man stun is out. Though Bark has been left alone. Ori kind of baiting his off lane. And Bark's going to drop.
Okay, that's a massive kill for Butterfly Effect to find on himself. It's going to allow that build-up into the Hurricane Pike here. A little bit more range, a little bit more distance for Butterfly Effect to feel safe in these engagements. And a 1.1k gold swing for the side of Bright. So that's how you come back in, I suppose, if Azure get a little bit too trigger happy. Not even able to really find the supports. A pretty deep jump in from Azure, but a really good spottage by TK. Like just forcing Ori to kind of make that bold play. Gets disrupted instead. A really good Force Staff usage along with a pig pull here from TK. And not quite enough to turn the tides of the game, but you know, it's a sign of life here at the very least.
Tianming being caught Red Panda. TK even getting caught here by Low. Red Panda, he will go down eventually, so both supports dropping. Low even chasing down Butterfly Effect. Butterfly going to go for the LSA and TP out, but no. The hoof stop is there in time. A double kill out for Low. Azure cleaning up 3 of them. And now, I mean, it's just onto the tier 2 towers. There's really just nothing to stop them.
Yeah, there's no clear game plan here from Team Bright. I don't think we've seen a Ravage from Irving at all. Actually, it's still there for the high ground. But again, I don't know if the follow through is there. That's what makes this really rough for the side of Team Bright. It does feel like their best bet is still like an offensive swap instead. Just relying on the Shadow Demon to try to save with a disruption rather than just saving with swap. That feels like the only way they can find that isolation that they're gunning for. Full Ags up on FY though, so Lasso on 2 is going to be massive here. Can't even catch him out either. And I know, Team Bright, options are very, very limited. Not that they're completely out, but at the 20k deficit, with how well Azure is playing, it's not a simple matter of clawing their way back into this game. 84% chance, or 88 now, probability to win here for Azure. As they will find Roshan, but the smoke is out from Bright.
Roshan not lasting very long. They are trying to get there in time, but it is all too late. Remnants forward here from Ulu, trying to move in, see if he can get something for his trouble, but there's nothing left. They'll take the Aegis and the cheese. Team Bright not willing to stick around here, obviously, as Azure. They will do the same. They just kind of retreat for now. Maybe go for a smoke attempt as they back off. The team Bright thinking about moving in. Oh, they decide better of it. Still kind of waiting out as now Azure. They've got to go for the smoke. In they go. Irving looking to be the first target. Does get jumped and is just deleted. No Ravage to come out. Butterfly effect has been spotted here for FY. Red Panda is going to go down. FY dragging two of them together. Butterfly effect trying to BKB TP away. They do lose Ulu to boot. Tianming does at least go down, so they get a Rubik kill for their trouble, but it's 4-for-1. It's a very one-sided game. Well, Azure probably could start to look to go high ground.
Yeah, nothing holding them back. They even see the amplified damage rune here. Ori will happily pick it up. Still no Ravage being thrown out, but again, at this point, it doesn't feel like Ravage might even make any difference. And Team Bright just look a little bit lost. Like, they are looking for these opportunities. I suppose this lane swap of the Ember Lina just... It's kind of the same thing that happened to Azure, right? Like, they did have to go low in Druid and put low mid. This time it's Butterfly Effect. It's not that Butterfly Effect's not doing a great job. I just feel like it's down to Ulu's lane. Like, into the Centaur Batrider, it's a little bit too rough for the Ember. Urn timing was thrown off. Mage Slayer timing was thrown off. Even the level 6 spike was off the mark, so he couldn't play make. And that meant there was no one to connect with his Lina, who's just itching to try to find these kills with the damage. No one to help try to back up Irving earlier, to try to leverage Ravage. We'll try to camp around some vision they have here. But... I don't know if they can find a kill.
I mean, Lowe's been disrupted. He's been purged up. They do slow him, but he's alright. He'll just wait it out and turn back around now. Has the full disperser up. Stampede, disruption is going to save, or rather stop Bark from moving any more forward, but Ulu is just gone. He gets left behind. Meanwhile, the lasso onto the tide now, so Irving caught out again. Going to try for a TP play out, but... Because I can't remember the last time I saw a Ravage flying from Irving. He just...
No, it never flew out.
No.
There was never any Ravage. No.
Right, okay, well... Yeah, I mean, you're kind of at the stage of the game where you just got to think about calling it, I think.
Yeah, this does look pretty done and dusted. I don't know, unless Azure dives towards Fountain, you swap them in, perhaps, without Stampede up? Over and over again? I mean, maybe?
Jump in, Red Panda. Annihilated by Low. Bark gonna find TK as well. TK's not gonna make it out. Low does pop his BKB just in case. It's Butterfly Effect trying to get some damage off onto the Ursa. Low is still being chained up and still being held down. He's got a cheese though, and we'll eat it immediately. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew do move into the backside, trying to find the Lina. Butterfly Effect in huge trouble, is eventually going to go down. Or he's still going in for more, looking towards Irving. There's your Ravage flying out. It will save Irving's life, but not so much Ulu or Red Panda, and GG is called. They have seen enough here for this game number 2. Azure able to fight back after an atrocious game 1. And I mean, I'll tell you that these flex picks coming out from these rosters is just not really favoring either of them.
No, it's certainly not. I mean, again,